Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Kamusta inyong reels? Okay ra? Sige. So, we start now. I think we need to start. It's already 3:01. Mag-attendance ta. And then remember your number, ha? So, number 1, Alasas Althea. Alasas. Miss Alasas Althea K. Aplicador. Number 2, Aplicador Brad Mark Keldy. Aplicador. Say present.
Present, sir.
Okay. Number two ka, Mr. Aplicador. Number 3, on the list, Arofo Elaine. Arofo Elaine Rose. Number 3. Ayuda.
Present, sir.
Number 4.
Present, sir.
Then, okay, number 5, Benitez, Princess Naomi.
Present, sir.
Number 6, Kabahog Jamien. Kabahog Jamien. Number 7, Cadiz Maria Victoria.
Good afternoon, sir. Present.
Number 8, Cardenio Kent Jason.
Good afternoon, sir. Present.
Number 9, Duray Erica May.
Good afternoon, present, sir.
Number 10, Entice Magdalene Derimpol.
Good afternoon, sir. Present.
Number 11, Galarido AJ Promise Gift.
Good afternoon, sir. Present.
Number 12, Gloria Clarence.
Present, sir.
Number 13, Hippolito Abigail Frances. Number 13, Hippolito Abigail Frances. Wala si Miss Abigail Hippolito, number 13. Number 14, Limoran Zaira Nicole.
Good afternoon, Limoran. Present.
Okay. Number 15, Lugo Joanna Marie.
Good afternoon, sir. Present, sir.
Number 16, Montejo Olive Feliz.
Good afternoon, sir. Present po.
Number 17, Negro Zarina.
Good afternoon, sir. Present.
Number 18, Ono Yuko.
Good afternoon, sir. Present.
Number 19, Radin Christian Josh.
Good afternoon, sir. Present.
Number 20, Ruiz Jonathan.
Good afternoon, sir. Present, sir.
Number 21, Sabilyaga Terrence John.
Present, sir. Good afternoon.
Number 22, Unabia Nicole Valerie.
Good afternoon, sir. Present.
Number 23, Villacora Maria Therese.
Good afternoon, sir. Present, sir.
Okay, we go back to Alazas Althea K. Number 1. Alazas. Can you say present? Miss Alazas.
Hello, sir. Present.
Miss, huh? Ay,
Present.
okay. And then Arofo, Elaine Rose. Wala pa si Arofo. How about Kabahug? Joy Mien. Joy Mien Kabahug, number 6. Say present if you are around. Kabahug, Joy
Present,
Mien. Okay. Arofo, wala pa. Alasas, wala pa sad. Ay, no, sorry, Arofo and Kabahog, Alasas is around. All right, so good afternoon, everyone. The reason why I included the number as per the listing, because later on I will be asking you individually to, participate in the discussion. So some slides to be provided later on will have its own number that you will be answering individually. Okay? Sige. So, so far, I would like to go back to the lessons last time. So, no questions and clarifications? Wala ra? Everything okay? Okay ra ba ang tanan? Sige, so today, we will be talking about the biogeochemical cycles. Okay. I believe that these biogeochemical cycles are kind of familiar to you already. Perhaps, I'm not so sure, but I would guess that these concepts were already mentioned as well in your senior high school. But as part of the topic of this course, we will still be talking about it. So when we say biogeochemical cycles, they are also known as nutrient cycles, which actually describe the movement of key chemical elements through different media, different location, so to speak, such as the atmosphere, the soil, the rocks, even the bodies of water, and of course, organisms as part of the whole system. So the movement of these cycles would go between living and non-living, the living components and the non-living components of the ecosystem. It's very important for us to talk about this, to talk about the biogeochemical cycles, because they keep the essential elements available to the plants and other organisms. So these are the key elements that are important for the survival. Of course, these are not the only ones, because even, for example, humans, we need several important elements, and that is why some vitamins are also developed, because we have needs on those elements. Some are macronutrients, some are micronutrients. But as a whole, for these biogeochemical cycles, we will be talking about the 4 major cycles, no? The carbon, the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and the sulfur. So energy, so here it ensures the cycle itself would ensure the continuous availability of these elements, the essential elements for plants and other organisms. So energy flows directionally through the ecosystems. Um, Generally, the ultimate source of the energy is the sun. So entering as sunlight or inorganic molecules for chemoautotrophs and leaving as heat during energy transformation between the trophic levels. Last time we talked about the different trophic levels. Now from the um, from the heterotrophs, autotrophs, heterotrophs, and also the secondary consumers. So rather than flowing through an ecosystem, usually the matter makes up the organisms like us. Now, kitang mga animals or even the plants as well, all the organisms, then conserve and recycle. So muna siya, it's basically one cycle, continuous cycles, I mean. So there are several connections, not only one direction, but there are several connections. And somehow a portion of these cycles were manifested or shown in the assignment that I gave you last time. Sa ganitong assignment kung gihatag ninyo, katong task, second task. What is that? Sa ganito?
Food chain and food web, sir.
Yeah, chain and food web. So these connections between animals not only I would say show the transfer of energy, but as well matter, right? So that's just the between the living organisms. But when these materials go out of the system of the organisms or populations, they enter into the the abiotic components, and they are part of that, and there are also cycles. So practically, the cycle of these different matters are in both the biotic and the abiotic components of the ecosystem are involved. Then there is what we call the law of conservation of mass. Anyone who would like to tell me what is the law of conservation of mass? Anyone? What is the law of conservation of mass? So basically, it says that matter is neither created nor destroyed, correct?
Yes,
I
sir.
think you are familiar with this concept. It's very fundamental, and so in biology, biology is not independent of other disciplines. As we know, biology involves or applies. There are a lot of concepts of physics that are being applied in understanding biology. So in this case, we are talking about the ecology, the ecosystem. So in this case, the concept of the law of conservation of mass is basically applicable. So when we say the law of conservation of mass, neither created nor destroyed, but only transformed. So the law of conservation of mass is parent in the dynamics of the ecosystem. So for example, after a chemical reaction, the mass of the products will be the same as the mass of the reactants, no? Or the ending molecules equals the starting molecule. So practically, dapat mo niya imong ma-observe in the ecosystem in terms of the mass, because as the law of conservation of mass says, matter is neither created nor destroyed. So dapat ang mass of the reactants, no, must be equal to the mass of the products. The starting molecules should be equal to the ending molecules. So the same is true with the ecosystem. Matter moves to the different media, as I said earlier, um, from the environment, the matter would be incorporated into the bodies of the organisms, and somehow some will go back if the organism kay buhi pa through paglibang nato, no, and other ways. And when the animals or organisms would die, so these components will go back to the ecosystem as well. And of course, because of the law of the conservation of mass in the ecosystem, the atoms or the amount of the matter remains constant. All right. So, I should not move. Okay. So, in the ecosystem, matter cycles through different forms and media, but as I stated, the total amount remains constant. Now, in this case, the focus of our discussion are on two major elements: carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur, because these are the four major components of almost all organisms. And it is important to note that the biogeochemical cycles of these four elements, the carbon, the nitrogen, the sulfur, and the phosphorus, are actually interconnected with water cycle. So for example, the movement of water is critical for the leaching of the sulfur and phosphorus into rivers, lakes, and ocean. When you say leaching, say pasabot ang word ni leaching. What's the other term for leaching? Anyone who would like to share?
Reliance, sir.
Leaching. The word leaching, kani. So when you say the four elements, as mentioned, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur, are actually the cycle of these are interconnected with the water cycle, because water enables the leaching of sulfur and the phosphorus into the aquatic systems. So when you say leaching, it can be considered as flushing, maybe. I think the nearest equivalent word for leaching is flushing. So ma-flush siya from other sources into the water system, and it becomes available for the aquatic systems, no? So when you say leaching into the rivers, into the lakes, into lagoons, into oceans, no? And today, we have understood already that human activities, no? When you say anthropogenic, anthro means human. So anthropogenic activities or human activities are actually significantly altering the ecosystems and disrupting the natural nutrient cycles. For example, kinsay taga Mandawi dere. Kinsay familiar sa Butuanon River. So there are several activities that are altering, I don't want to say damaging, but I just want to use the word altering the cycles. No? Then we can observe that in many water bodies as well. And later on, we'll be talking about if the sa man ang tawag process or state of water bodies due to some anthropogenic activities or human activities. Now let's proceed to the first cycle. So this is the carbon cycle. Can anyone describe the cycle and provide some description of the process itself, and including describing the arrows, the component of the cycle? Anyone who would like to volunteer? We always hear about carbon. So carbon is amongst the most talked elements, correct? The carbon cycle. So basically, the carbon is the basic building block of all organic materials. Have you taken organic chemistry? Almost all of the molecules that contain carbon are considered organic, meaning components of living organism, living organism or living things, except for what molecule containing carbon that is not organic but rather inorganic? What molecule containing carbon is not considered organic? Like when you get carbohydrates, it has several carbons. When you have proteins, nasa siya carbon sa yung backbone. So these are organic compounds, organic molecules. But there is one molecule that has carbon but is considered as inorganic. That is carbon dioxide. So basically, carbon is the building block of all living organisms. So the carbon cycle is actually comprised of several interconnected cycles. One, ang usa kay dealing with rapid carbon exchange among the living organisms, and the other is considered as slow or long-term cycle of carbon through unsa man ang siya long-term, unsa man ang involved ani how many long-term, how long in terms of time frame. Sometimes thousands or sometimes millions of years ang iyahang process. So that's basically where the geologic processes are involved. Okay, so overall, the overall effect is that carbon is constantly recycled in the dynamic processes taking place in the atmosphere, at the surface of the earth, in the crust of the earth. So basically, some movements are fast and some movements of carbon are long in terms of geologic time. Kaya may uban carbons ma-deposit sa crust, and then it will be there for thousands and millions of years, and then when there is volcanic eruption, before volcanic eruption, naatay ka ng movement of the surface of the crust, so ng tectonic plates and those kinds of movements, moving these components, the carbon, and then when there is a volcanic eruption, then it will go up into the atmosphere. It becomes part of the atmosphere, and then in the form of carbon dioxide, and then that will be assimilated by, as you can see here, assimilated by the plants or photosynthetic organisms, because not only plants are photosynthesizing, the algae, some organisms also photosynthesize. So the carbon dioxide are assimilated by the terrestrial photosynthesis, So the photosynthesis will use carbon and manufacture carbohydrates, correct? And then in the process of respiration, okay, some organisms, or the example, the animals, will release the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So, kind of fast na siya nga kind of part components of the cycle. And then, of course, the burning of fossil fuels, cars, manufacturing industries. So these are burning, can be burning organic sources of energy, and then emits a lot of CO2 into the atmosphere. Okay? So basically, this basically a cycle. So the vast majority of the carbon residues, though, is inorganic, in the form organic, and sometimes these are actually, in this case, there is withering of terrestrial rocks, then it is transformed into soil carbon, and then deposited as a fossil carbon. Then these forms of carbon, the fossil carbon and the soil carbon, are actually kind of processed by the microbial organisms. And so there is microbial respiration and decomposition. So basically, the process of decomposition involves respiration as well. And that process will produce carbon in the form in the form that would be leached. As I said, flushing. The term leaching is flushing from, say, land into the ocean. And these carbons are actually deposited, and then part of the surface of the earth, or the crust, and then because of the movement, there will be uplifting as well, and then it goes back to this portion where the composition will happen, and then leaching again. But in some cases, apart from the terrestrial organisms, the carbon dioxide are absorbed by the aquatic plants and or other photosynthetic marine organisms. But at the same time, some animals, of course, there are food chain and food webs as well in here. The marine organism will have respiration that will emit CO2 back into the atmosphere. So these are that's basically the cycle. Different components are important or key to the cycle. For example, the leaching is usually happening many times, or happening a lot, but the weathering of the terrestrial rocks also happen. But one major component of sending back the carbon is volcanic eruption. For example, during the eruption of the Mount Pinatubo, there were a lot of carbon components that were emitted into the atmosphere, and as well into the land in the form of lahar. So that's one process. And all these would happen consequently, but dili pareho ang time frame, no? Na uban longer, na uban shorter. So imagine that, can you imagine that perhaps a portion of your body, or the carbon being contained in your body, may had been part of a dinosaur? Pwede, no? Is it possible? In the process of carbon cycle, that is definitely possible. But of course, dagan na siya mga transformations ni Agi. Kaya pwede man nga, katong namatay na dinosaur and bird, then decomposed, and the portion of that may have been uplifted, and then pag-uplift, that portion of the carbon was part of the, say, lava of a volcano that erupted, say, 20 million years ago, and brought into the surface, no, sa surface, and then part dayon siya sa very fertile land. Katong nga component of the body used to be the carbon used to be part of the body of the dinosaur, and then naging part sa fertile land, and then that land perhaps was planted with, say favorite ninyo nga vegetable. So dili na lang naging part sa grass. Now, and then part sa grass, then that part of grass harvested and then transformed into feeds, pinagipakaon sa baboy, and became part of the pork, and then you bought in the market that part of the pork, and you ate that, and it becomes part of your body. When we are growing the human development, or even animals and human development, we are accumulating this carbon, become part of us. So that's technically, in concept, it is possible, no? So yeah, so that's the thing. Now, okay, ako yung ikuan. City number one. Number one, the morning reason nga akong gipa-remember niya yung number, because I want you to tell me unsa ni nga process or component of the carbon cycle which has this number. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Manawag ko ha. Number 7. So, number 1, I would like Miss Alasas to tell me unsa nga process ni siya sa carbon cycle, or the component of what's happening here in number 1, including this arrow.
The process being depicted in number 1 is the intake of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere for the process of photosynthesis. Mo absorb ang plant ang carbon dioxide sa atmosphere, ayon metabolize sila og sugar para sa sugar with byproducts of water and oxygen that are released back into the atmosphere.
That's very good. Okay, so number 2. So the number 1, as what Ms. Alasa said, that this is basically involving photosynthesis, absorbing or assimilating carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and the process of photosynthesis, producing byproducts or products, including part of the growth of development. Okay, number 2. Applicador, Brad, Mark.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
The picture number 2, sir, animal and plant respiration, sir. The carbon
Yes,
dioxide
what about
from
that?
animals and plants can release to the atmosphere.
Okay, so sending back this carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. All right, so number 3, Miss Arofo Elaine Rose. Miss Arofo? Wala si Miss Arofo? Sige, move na lang ta sa number 4. So what's happening in number 4? Miss Ayuda Cherry Rose.
Excuse me, sir, madungog ako.
Yes, clear.
Okay, so the process is happening in number 4 is marine photosynthesis, where the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is taken from the algae in the ocean in order to perform photosynthesis.
Okay, so basically it's similar to number 1, no? Only that number 1 is described as involving organisms in terrestrial organisms. In this case, number 4, in the ocean, basically, or in water bodies. Though these are, as you noticed here, the slide only shows the oceans, but it can also be true to fresh waters like lagoons, lakes, because there are aquatic organisms that actually photosynthesize. and simulate or absorb carbon dioxide for photosynthetic activities. Then number 5, Miss Benitez, Princess Naomi.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Number 5 is marine respiration. So, similar rin siya sa 2 except sa mga marine ecosystems. So, yan na ito.
That's correct, no? So number 2, this the figure or the image shows the activities of the living organisms in the terrestrial areas or kind of forest or the land, na siya respiration nga nahitabo wherein carbon dioxide is a byproduct as well of the process and sending it back to the carbon dioxide. So in number 5, it's describing the same or similar activity, but in this case, marine organisms. Number 6. Kung sa may nahitabo sa number 6. Itong mga rocks sa kuan. Mga rocks sa upland, mountains, or terrestrial part of the earth. Number 6, Miss Kabahog. Miss Kabahog, Joy?
Ano ba order?
Yes.
Number 6, sir, kay ordering of terrestrial rocks.
Yeah, that's correct. So what happens to the withering? Siya nahitabo sa withering from rocks, so mahitabo sa withering di ay. Process of withering. Sige. Mo break down and then becomes soil carbon, and when we have the soil carbon, a portion of that becomes fossil carbon, kanang ato ang gipang sunog ng mga gasoline, mga coals, kanang fossil carbon. But the fossil carbon can also be transformed into forms that are acted upon by what? What's the process? And also the soil carbon too. So number 7. Miss Cadiz Maria Victoria. So this process involving what? No? Which actually facilitates leaching of the carbon component in the form of runoff or flushing that into the water bodies somehow. And man. Number 7. Miss Cadiz. Unsa ni siya? Miss Cadiz. Kuan ka ng brief ka ng kuan lang siya, fast lang na pakita tereng move ka na sa man to tereng. Number 2 and number 5, so basically there is the process of terrestrial respiration, and then number 5 as well na aquatic respiration, and sa parts sa land or even sa seas naapod ni siya, but involving mga small organisms, the microbes, no? So basically, as mentioned earlier, these components or forms of carbon are acted upon by the microbes, and then there is microbial respiration and decomposition. That process facilitates breakdown of materials and facilitates carbon transport in the form of leaching and runoff. Okay? Now, so mo ni sila atong ginaingon nga gimension ako earlier nga slow carbon cycle, especially happening in land and the ocean. So basically, on land, carbon is stored in soil as organic carbon and in the form of decomposing organisms. Like ito akong gi-mention nga, pwede mo namatay ang living organism, ilang dinosaur, no? So carbon stored in the soils and the rocks, and as well the fossil fuels formed from buried compressed organic matter over millions of years. And these carbon storage are somehow used as well by the human civilization, by us, the daghang ginagamit ani for the source of energy, gasoline, no? For example, or charcoal. So, muna siya. But at the same time, these carbon-containing compounds, no, in the soil can be washed into the bodies of water through leaching. So soil carbon enters the water bodies and reaches the ocean. And as mentioned as well, prior to leaching, there is the process of withering, no, of terrestrial rocks and minerals that release carbon into the soil. Then we also have ocean uptake, no? CO2 dissolves in seawater and forms carbonate ions and binds with calcium to form the shells that we actually see. Kanang naa sa mga clams and even the corals, no? Kanang iyahang exoskeleton, kanang calcium carbonate, okay? And then we also have sedimentation, no? Shells become ocean sediments and form limestone. Basically, limestone is the largest carbon reservoir. And of course, this kind of process, the transport would take millions of years. Cebu, for example, as an island, is a karst, K-A-R-S-T, is a karst island and mainly made up of limestones. So Cebu contains carbons that basically be considered as the part of the largest carbon reservoir. And then you also have the concept of geologic processes. You have the plate subduction, which actually returns carbon into mantle, no? When I say subduction, is basically the movement of one tectonic plate beneath the other. Yeah, and when these are moving, there will be shaking. So manang ma-feel na earthquake. So that's movement of the plates. And that is part of the subduction. That's part of the processes. That's part of the carbon cycle itself too. Then we also have volcanic eruptions that actually splits and release or return the carbon into the land. So akong gipakita nga drawing, for example, this one, no? Kani. Okay. Now, for the fast carbon cycle. For the fast carbon cycle, photosynthesis, no, which may happen in a few hours or even shorter, or continuous, can happen basically every day, and then the growth of the plants, and then it dies, then it goes back to the land. So that's basically considered as fast carbon cycle. So the photosynthesis as a process, plants, algae, and cyanobacteria absorb CO2 from the atmosphere or from the outside sources and convert it into glucose using sunlight. CO2 as an inorganic compound or inorganic molecule is being used to convert into organic molecule, which is in this case glucose. Okay? And then we also have carbon transfer. So organic molecules such as starch, proteins, and lipids pass to animals via feeding, apil ta ana, no? And then respiration, or organisms break down organic molecules releasing CO2 back to the atmosphere. So when we exhale, we are releasing CO2 and it goes back to the air and to the atmosphere. And then decomposition. You have dead matter is broken down by the decomposers. These are the bacteria or different kinds of bacteria that decompose organic compounds, and in the process, releasing not only CO2 but as well methane. So not only carbon dioxide or CO2, but as well methane, which is CH4. Now, one carbon with four hydrogen atoms. And then we also have reciprocal cycle. It is a photosynthesis which actually removes CO2, then respiration returns the process, it turns the carbon. And then additional sources, you have CO2 is also released by volcanoes, hydrothermal vents, that's basically deep in the sea, which have some crack and releasing some compounds, no? And then combustion as well, and ocean atmosphere exchange, meaning that out in deep oceans, the surface, there, sometimes kung mag-interact lagi more said, we see that as a horizon, but we cannot clearly see that, but the atmosphere and the ocean are also interchanging. They're exchanging the carbon between them. So it's called carbon atmosphere exchange. So this is the equation for the photosynthesis, and I think you're familiar with this, correct? So we have carbon dioxide plus water with sunlight to realize the reaction. So carbon dioxide and water, it will produce the sugar. No? A sugar in general can be in different forms, but fundamental photosynthesis actually produces carbohydrates and also, of course, oxygen. So that is why the plants release oxygen as a byproduct of the photosynthesis. And in this equation, the carbon dioxide actually uses how many moles? How many moles of carbon dioxide per 6 moles of water to produce carbohydrates? 6 moles, no? 6 moles of CO2 and 6 moles of water. When combined with the aid of sunlight, then you produce sugar. The basic product of photosynthesis is carbohydrates. And glucose in particular is composed of 6 carbons, 12 hydrogen atoms, and 6 oxygen. In excess of this combination, 6 moles of oxygen is released by the plants as well. So these are the products, no? Sugar and oxygen. Now, naminaw mo, wala. So number 6, kasi number 6. Ay, number 8, sorry. Mr. Cardenio Kent, what is number 8 as part of the starting molecules of photosynthesis?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. The starting molecule for photosynthesis to occur is none other than carbon dioxide, sir.
So that's for the number 8, correct. So number 9, what is the, how do you call it, chemical composition of the carbon dioxide, and how many moles are used? Number 9, Miss Duray Erica May.
Good afternoon, sir. So, iyang chemical composition, sir, is 6O. Na 2 nga subscript para sa oxygen, and there are 6 moles of carbon dioxide, sir.
So when you say subscript 2 of oxygen, what does it mean?
There are 2 atoms of oxygen, sir.
Yes. So there are in the molecule CO2 there is one carbon with two oxygens, and CO2 is considered as inorganic, and for the process of photosynthesis we need 6 moles no to be able to produce a glucose. So number 10, Miss Magdalene and Tise no. So what is the other starting molecule of photosynthesis apart from CO2? Number 10, Miss Intise Magdalene. Where is Miss Magdalene? Wala siya? Miss Magdalene? Absent si Miss Magdalene?
Good afternoon, sir. I think, sir, na-disconnect siya, sir.
Na-disconnect siya. Sige, so we'll just we'll go back to Miss Magdalene. So we'll just ask me, Miss AJ Fro, from Miss Gift.
Hello, sir.
For number 10, instead of Miss Intise, kindly tell us the other component, the other molecule required for the photosynthesis to proceed. Getting number 10. What is this?
Sir?
Nakisa ni si Mr. AJ from his gift?
Yes.
Yeah. So as you can see on the slide, on screen I mean, na I covered nga number 10.
Okay.
And basically, yeah, so what is this? The other component, because number 8, as mentioned by Ms. Cardenio, number 8 is carbon dioxide. So what is number 10?
Water.
Water. Okay, so water is also the other component to proceed with the photosynthesis reaction. Then, what is the chemical composition and how many moles do we need?
H2O.
H2, Goria.
Oh wait, sorry.
Sorry. Sigoria Clarence?
I think 6 carbon atoms or then H2O, sir.
Okay. So when you say 2, with subscript of 2, what does it mean? What does it mean, Mr. Goria Clarence?
So hydrogen atoms.
2 atoms no, of hydrogen combined with 1 atom of oxygen to form the water molecule or H2O. Nanabasikuan, Miss Magdalene Intise. Ay, mo ba ito ang wala na ganina? Miss Magdalene. So I would like to ask Miss Magdalene to tell us the number 12. Wala si Miss Magdalene. O pa siya nag-reconnect?
Hello, sir.
Oh yeah, you're back already. Yes, so you are looking at on screen. You are looking at the photosynthesis equation. Mr. Cardenio actually said that number 8 is the carbon dioxide. Number 10 is water combined together with the aid of sunlight to produce number 12. So what is number 12 in the photosynthesis
Hello,
equation?
sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Hello. Oh, yes, sir. Thank you. Am I the number 12, sir?
Huh? Yes, number 12.
Hello. Audible, yes, sir. Okay. Number 12 is 8 is carbon dioxide. Sorry kayo, sir, kaya nakuhan ko ka na-disconnect.
Yes.
8
So in the
is carbon
photosynthesis-
dioxide, 10 is water. 12,
So it's number 12
12 is Sugar.
Sugar, yes, that's really true.
12 is
Correct,
sugar, sir.
sugar. Okay, sugar. So it's main product, no? It's main product of the photosynthesis. So sugar is very important for the growth and development of organisms. Okay, so it is a byproduct of the it's a product of photosynthesis being carried out by the autotrophs or the producers, can be plants, the algae, or the photosynthetic aquatic organisms. And what is the number 13? So Miss Hippolito, Abigail Frances, what is the chemical composition of the carbohydrates, the glucose? In this case, let's just use the example of glucose. So what is the chemical composition of glucose and how many moles? What is the chemical composition lang of glucose? Chemical composition or chemical formula?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I think Miss Hippolito is not to answer present kay they're going to Argao. Currently traveling pa sila.
Oh. Anong karon nga time man sila nag-level? Sige. Okay, so let's move to Miss Zaira Limoran.
So for the sugar, sir, we have C6H12O6 po.
Okay. Then the other byproduct of photosynthesis is number Miss Lugo.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Audible ako, sir?
Yes.
So the other product of photosynthesis is oxygen, sir.
Oxygen, okay. That's correct. So if we go back here, so makita ninyo no, ang number of moles and number of atoms are equal actually from sa left and sa right. Kung imo na siyang i-total. So another emphasis on the equation itself and on the conservation of mass. Then let's proceed with the importance of the carbon cycle. Why is it very important? Why do we need to talk about carbon cycle? Of course, as mentioned, it sustains life. Without the carbon cycling, life would cease, no? As carbon becomes locked in rocks and sediments. And unsa na may ato ang gamiton? Unsa na may gamiton sa mga plants? Asa man sila mangita og carbon to absorb for the photosynthesis, which are used as well for their own development, the photosynthetic organisms, no, for the development of their body parts or the parts of the plants or the photosynthetic organisms. And then kung wala na sila, then unsa may food or sources of food for the organisms at the higher trophic levels. So it's really fundamental, no, that the carbon cycle is very important because it sustains life. And then we also have the photosynthesis, provides energy and carbon for food webs and releases oxygen that are essential for respiration. Then you have the atmospheric oxygen, originated from the early photosynthetic bacteria and now actually composing 21% of the atmosphere. So that's part of the carbon cycle. It also carries with it the oxygen in carbon dioxide, and through respiration, oxygen is being released into the atmosphere and it becomes part of the atmosphere, composing 21%. And then the ozone formation, of course. Ozone is O3, and ozone is very important as a shield. And so oxygen, O2, enables the formation of ozone or O3, production of O3. So if anyone would be interested in reading about the katuganing ozone layer, the depletion of the ozone layer, you will also be exposed to the process of the production of O3. In the atmosphere, O3 is very beneficial, but if O3 is in the surface of the, say sa nasa to ang mids, it's actually toxic to the living organisms. But of course, up there in the atmosphere, it creates a layer, no, shielding the Earth from harmful UV radiation, and the interaction with the UV, there na siya rearrangement of the oxygen molecules. Some would bind together in a triad, no? So O3, then it becomes part of the ozone layer, shielding us from harmful UV radiation. Then also the composition recycles the carbon from dead matter back into the atmosphere for reuse by the autotrophs, no? Sa mga photosynthesizing organisms. Then, of course, another importance of the carbon cycle is its contribution to the ecosystem services. Last time, we talked about the different ecosystems and that the ecosystem provides services as well. So humans, kita, we actually depend on the carbon cycling of food, no? For carbon cycling for food, then as well as the fuel. In the previous slide, lower left side, there is the fossil carbon. So basically, that's the form that we use for fuel. It can be gasoline, no? Fuel available gasoline that we actually extract from deep down in the deep down sa Utah, and then as well we extract and use it because of technology, so we'd be able to convert that into electricity. And at the same time, carbon is essential for our fiber use. So fiber harvesting actually composes 25% of the annual plant biomass. Okay, so these are important the benefits that we get, no, from the carbon cycle itself. Now here, so this is an example of, so what are you seeing in this slide? Can anyone tell me their thoughts about this one? What's happening here in relation to carbon cycle? So this is basically a rotting log, no? A dead organism, and then you can see the mushrooms. Mushrooms actually are, they are helping the decomposition of the organic matter. So that is part of the cycling of carbon as well. So here, no, even if it's dead a log, a tree, it totally can harbor. The decomposition of organisms can harbor a lot of organisms. And in this process, you can see here the different kinds of organisms that are attracted to the decomposition of the log. And of course, you are looking at organisms, but in this process, eating the decomposition of the log and then the growth of some organisms there actually implies as well carbon cycle. Okay, human impact on the carbon cycle. So mao na po na ang usa ka aspect na atuang pwedeng we can talk about in terms of the impacts, no? How we actually alter the carbon cycle. So here, the atmospheric carbon dioxide, no, those CO2s that are in the atmosphere, the concentration actually increased from 280 parts per million, or we put it ppm, or parts per million. So 280 parts per million before the pre-industrial time of the human history. It actually increased to 413 parts per million. So almost doubled siya, no? Not exactly double, almost doubled. Between the start of the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century and recently, 5 years ago, 2020. So this reflected basically a new flux in the global carbon cycle. Iyang gi pas no ang process of the cycle of the the CO2 is basically categorized as anthropogenic CO2 emissions. Okay? And then we have the anthropogenic emissions caused by the fossil fuel burning and land use changes. Pwede po ang land use changes, pwede sadyang naikaingin. For example, kung may kaingin, we are burning organic materials as well and releasing CO2 into the atmosphere. And another part, mas dako og kanang contribution is the burning of the fossil fuels, no? Kana masigita o burn sa gasoline and we have felt now the effect of this into the atmosphere. In fact, they say that it is a major contributory factor to global warming, together with methane. Okay, and then the land use, deforestation, and agriculture release carbon from the biomass and the soil. And then you have the carbon flux. Based on the studies, in 2018, human activities actually added around 36.6 gigatons of pure carbon, or it is 36.6 billion metric tons of pure carbons into the atmosphere. So gisaka na to ang iyang concentrations. And the increased concentration of CO2 actually contributed to the warming of the globe. No? Okay. Imbis ang uban ng mga heat from the sun will be reflected back into the space, the carbon dioxide together with methane and other molecules that contribute to the global warming actually make the earth some kind of a greenhouse. No, kanang sa greenhouse man good, sunlight from outside then refracted back, pero dili siya escape outside, kaya trap siya, so it becomes warmer. So in ana ang konsepto. So the elevated CO2 actually drives global warming and climate change. So that's how things are. How do you say it? Murag siya. So because of this, because of the significant increase of the emissions of CO2 into the atmosphere, it actually now changes it increases the temperature of the earth, and that's now we are observing, we are actually experiencing global warming and climate change. Okay. And we proceed with the nitrogen cycle. So nitrogen cycle, unsa man nga mga organic materials ang naay nitrogen, apart from carbon, of course. O unsa man nga inyong mga remember, you can think of. Anyone who would like to share what molecule requires nitrogen to be, kanang para siya ma-create, ma-construct ng molecule. So here, when you say nucleic acids, unsa man ni sila? Asa makikita mga nucleic acids, no? Or even the other organic molecules. So the essential elements, no? Essential elements include nucleic acids. So nitrogen, I mean, is an essential element for the production of the nucleic acids, the proteins, asa man ka makita proteins in your body, the muscles, na siya lots of proteins, and then the other organic materials as well. Atmospheric reservoir, so around 78% of the Earth's atmosphere is actually nitrogen. But it is biologically unavailable in this form, so that na ay mga reactions that I will show to you in the cycle where you can see how the nitrogen are actually uh, made available for other organisms. Then you also have the inert molecule, or the N2. It's stable, and requires high energy to break its triple bonds. Then you also have the nitrogen fixation. Specialized microbes are actually involved in converting the N2 into ammonia, which is NH3, and which becomes ammonium, or NH4 plus, which is actually now usable by the plants. So here, you can see the cycle of the nitrogen. So the nitrogen molecule is quite, they say it's quite inert. Dili siya magamit dayon. So it has to be broken into parts, no? So that the atoms can combine with the other atoms required, that actually requires the input of substantial amount of energy. Then here, there are bacteria that are involved that fix, quote unquote, fix nitrogen and make it available for the other organisms. So in here, mani, for example, a legume, is actually hosting this kind of organisms, no? And that's where the nitrogen fixation is happening, converting the, with this nitrogen fixing bacteria, converting the nitrogen gas, for example, into ammonia first, and then spontaneously becomes ammonium, no? So pag-convert niya from N2, react with the oxygen, then the nitrogen fixing bacteria transforms, the hydrogen, then transforming the N2 into ammonium. Then ammonium is actually found in the bodies of water and in the soil as well. So here, when you have ammonium, apart from the nitrogen fixing bacteria, dead plants, no? The dead plants are decomposed, and with the help of bacteria as well, and with the help of the mushrooms, no, or the fungi or fungi, then the nitrogen is transformed into ammonium. This process is ammonification. So this is the process. So the first stage is, of course, the involvement of the nitrogen-fixing bacteria being hosted by the legumes, and then transforming the N2 together with hydrogen through ammonification, then transforming N2 into ammonium. Pwede po siyang through decomposition. Alright? So, then you have the ammonium. And after that, there is another type of bacteria involved. In this time, nitrifying bacteria. So the nitrifying bacteria, through the process of nitrification, transforming ammonium into nitrites, no? Nitrites, or NO subscript 2 negative. Then when you have the nitrites already, or NO2, again, nitrifying bacteria transforming the nitrites into nitrates, adding one molecule of oxygen. One atom of oxygen. So going back, so from the inert gas, N2, with the interaction with the help of nitrogen-fixing bacteria living in nodules and in soil, transforming the inert gas into ammonium through the process of ammonification. And when you have this kind of molecule, the ammonium, it is now the time of the nitrifying, it's their time to shine. Nitrifying bacteria transforming ammonium through the process of nitrification into nitrites or NO2. And with the help again of nitrifying bacteria, transforming nitrites into nitrates. Okay, into nitrates. And then now, this is the form where plants can actually use already the nitrates, no? So it will be assimilated, no? Absorbed, no, by the plants, and it becomes part of the plants. Then there is another path, though. There is what we call denitrifying bacteria. Denitrifying bacteria, where in transforming the nitrates, no, NO3, into N2. So that's basically a generic cycle of the nitrogen. Okay, now number 16. Kisay number 16?
Montejo, sir.
Montejo. Olive. So what is number 16? What is the process of converting the inert gas, no, N2, with the help of the nitrogen-fixing bacteria in the soil?
The process is ammonification, sir, wherein
ang product niya will be answered by Miss Negro Zarina. Okay, Miss Negro. So N2, or the inert gas, is being transformed by the nitrogen-fixing bacteria in the soil in the process of ammonification. So what is the product?
So, hello sir kanang, since it undergoes under ammonification process, it will then now produce ammonium, sir, which is katong NH4.
Correct. So you have now NH4 or ammonium through the process of ammonification with the help of nitrogen-fixing bacteria. Then, for the ammonium to be transformed into nitrites, this one. So what is the process called? Number 18, Onoyuko.
Hello, sir. The process is called nitrification, sir.
Nitrification. And what type of bacteria is involved, Mr. Radin?
Nitrifying bacteria, sir.
Nitrifying bacteria. Correct.
Yes.
So now we have nitrites, but it is not yet usable by the plant. So it has to be converted further. So what bacteria is involved? Number 20, Mr. Ruiz, Jonathan?
Still nitrifying bacteria, sir.
The same, no? Same, yapon siya. And transforming nitrites into, number 21, Mr. Sabillaga, Terence?
Nitrates, sir.
This time nitrates, and this is now available for use by the plants. And the process is, what process? Number 22, Unabia Nicole?
The processor is called assimilation.
Yeah, so basically it's absorbing. Assimilation is basically the process of absorbing any nutrients, but in this case, because we're talking about nitrogen, assimilation of the nitrates through the roots of the plants, and then becomes part of the growth and development of the plants. However, there is another path. There is another path that converts nitrates into, it converts back into the inert form, which is N2. So what bacteria now is involved in the process of converting the nitrates into the inert form, which is N2? Miss Villacora?
This time, sir, kay denitrifying bacteria na, sir.
Okay, that's correct. So denitrifying bacteria. So that's how the nitrogen is being cycled or recycled into the system. And if you can also imagine this, or even the carbon cycle, you can also imagine all these things as part of the processes of the different ecosystems that we talked about last time. Okay, so then that's the nitrogen, and of course, as mentioned, there are three major processes of the nitrogen fixing bacteria. The first one is the atmospheric fixation. No, usually 5 to 8% of the processes are through the atmospheric fixation. Lightning breaks N2 molecules. So apart from those in the cycle, there are other activities that are involved. Even the lightning is part of that fixation. Not only the nitrogen fixing bacteria, but as well lightning fixes nitrogen and makes that available for the organisms in the form of nitrates when dissolved during rain season or ng na precipitation. So lightning fixing the inert N2 into nitrogen oxides and then dissolved in the water through the rain, and it becomes it becomes nitrates and deposited into the soil. Then we also have another process, industrial fixation. So basically, it's an industrial process. They call it Haber-Bosch process, where the inert gas is mixed with the two molecules of hydrogen to make it ammonia under high pressure and temperature, and of course with a catalyst. So ammonia now is a part of the production of the industry through this process with the use of high pressure and high temperature together with a catalyst to produce ammonia. So ammonia is used in the fertilizer we call urea. So it's a commercially available synthetic production of the of ammonia, and it makes in urea to become fertilizer, which has a chemical composition or chemical formula of NH4NO3. So there are four hydrogens attached to the two atoms of the nitrogen together with three atoms of oxygen. Sorry. So here you have the biological fixation, no? As another one, which actually we described in the previous slide. So carried out by the nitrogen fixing bacteria and together with the other type of bacteria as well as described earlier, no? Of course, famous nitrogen fixing bacteria as a bacteria with a very close relationship with leguminous plants. No, it's a symbiosis because this bacteria would fix the inert molecule, the N2, making it available for the plants to absorb in the form of nitrates. And at the same time, the bacteria is happy because it is as a home being hosted by the leguminous plants. Then, of course, also we have the cyanobacteria, which help fertilize the wetlands. For example, the rice paddies and some type of ecosystems that are considered as wetlands. So naana sila mga cyanobacteria that help fertilize the wetlands. This one is an example of leguminous plant. Kanayabag na siya mga nodes, and of course, we are familiar with this because it's similar to peanuts. Peanuts is a leguminous plant as well, and it's very common in the Philippines. Okay. Here, we already described it in the graph, but as an iteration, we have the nitrification. The nitrification is the transformation of ammonium into nitrites and then into nitrates as well by the bacteria and the archaea. Then we have assimilation, absorption of these organic nitrogen compounds and then further consumed by the plant. So when you say assimilation is a general term, eating, absorbing nutrients into the body of the organism, taking in that nitrogen, that form of nitrogen, which is nitrates. But as a component of the plant, there are several forms there. Pwede man gud siyang part of the nucleic acid or for the DNA of the plant. So nitrogen sa na siya absorbed by the one eating. So it becomes part of the body as well and constructing different molecules, proteins, nucleic acids, DNA, and so on and so forth. Then that's part of the process of assimilation. Then ammonification, mentioned already, that decomposers convert organic nitrogen from the waste or dead organisms into NH form, the ammonium. And then denitrification, denitrifying bacteria, converting now the nitrates back into N2 gas, or the inert gas N2, and then returns to the atmosphere. Then you also have sedimentation, and you also have the uplift. Marine nitrogen accumulates in sediments and return to land via the plate uplift. So important part ang geologic processes of this. So those geologic processes are part of the long-term portion of the cycle. Okay? Now, human impacts. We have the fossil fuel combustion. As mentioned, katong mga reserves, the fossil carbons, that we have extracted through kanang technology, like the Middle East, the US, and there are many other who are actually are having big reserve of fossil carbons, extracting that and selling that, transporting to other countries, and burning through industries, through cars, and different kinds of processes that actually would emit a lot of CO2. As mentioned earlier, as of 2020, we have produced around 413 gigatons of pure carbon back into the atmosphere. And so the impact, climate change, increase of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is hugely contributory to that fact. Then the next one is fertilizer use. Katong industrial processes, producing a lot of urea or fertilizers composed of nitrogen, practically producing input around 90 million tons of nitrogen per year. And then because of this, especially the use of fertilizer in the agricultural farms, and during heavy even irrigation is part of that. During precipitation, heavy rainfall, so runoff siya, flush leaching of this nitrogen into the water. Now you have the term eutrophication. Eutrophication is basically depositing a high amount of organic materials, including these materials that contain a lot of nitrogen, and because of the nutrient-rich runoff from the agriculture, then it results into algal blooms. And daghan kayo mo grow mga algae. And of course, when in the process of the production, there is high utilization of oxygen from the water, and so the water will be depleted with oxygen, and we know that fishes and other life forms also need oxygen, and so it results into the loss of aquatic life. So that's basically the situation that we can actually observe in many of the bodies of water even in Cebu, in the Philippines. That's basically globally, particularly on areas that have high urbanization, So eutrophication is amongst the worst impacts of a lot of high fertilizer production containing nitrogen. Kanang water rich enrichment man good na siya, then it will cause algal blooms. Then the algal blooms, when they the process of growth, and at the same time the process of decomposition of the algae from the water, that will use up a lot of oxygen, and it results into the depletion of oxygen and results into the loss of aquatic life. Okay, so here, as you can see, only ang agriculture, vast lands of agriculture will require a lot of fertilizers. And then if you notice, usahay ka ng mga anak nga dili kay tag-as ang plants, it will wash off a lot of organic materials from the land through heavy rainfall, ang uban through irrigation. And then of course, rainfall irrigation, usually man good sa flow niya, it will somehow go or end to the rivers and the oceans. So yun then eutrophication. So, yeah. And then sa phosphorus cycle, we can talk about this tomorrow. Okay, because it's 4:31, and any questions so far? Mag-quiz ta ugma? Kung pa man enjoy si Joanna, na-disconnected. Lagay mo lang siya na atong challenge karon, no? Dili mo ganan mag-quiz? Mag-quiz ta. Siya atong humanon sa angkuan. Gamay pa man sa tang na-discuss, no? Any other, pa may other concerns? Do you have concerns? Wala na? Yes. Kasi ito nag-raise a hand. Jonathan?
Hi, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, Jonathan.
Manang question ro, sir, regarding sa katong task number 3, sir, ba nasa instructions nga mo katong react sa kuan sa classmates, sa real sa classmates. So sana mo
I was actually thinking about it na kana ganing. Do you have TikTok, all of you? Kay akong original plan unta kay mas nice ang i-post ninyo, and then all of the or how about video sa inyong Facebook? Kaya at least mas ang inyong nabuhat ba kay can also be seen by the others outside of the class. And you can also, in the process, you will help educate people about the ecosystems. What you think? Yung una akong tanggihon na una na we can actually post. Pwede man siguro sa inyong may day, no? Sabi lang way. Dili, pwede inyong i-post sa inyong hangkuan, sa inyong Facebook wall mismo. Yes, Zarina?
Hello sir, good afternoon ka nang. Abo sa kanana post sir kay ang amo mo suggest na lang sir kay mo gani dong uban pero ya masay jud ni sir. Pero sir naka nang mag-create talag tag Facebook group ba? Pag dito na lang mag-post.
May ba pwede? Can you click for this class? And then all of you can actually share. Nice, magud kay sayang unta ba kay kung ang sa reels magud ninyo kay I'm thinking na inyong gihimo na siya ay pinagpaguran din yan, then it can also be shared, and kung naay makapaminaw, then they will also learn. I know there are several ways to learn about the ecosystems, but short TikTok manggod, the short reels manggod can easily be, kay kapoy manggod kung ang mga tao nga uban, no, they don't read mga scientific articles, or they don't actually read high technical papers, and kadaghanan manggod kay mas lingaw baya ang reels kay short ra siya, dili gani kapoy nga ulaton nimo og humanon nimo og tagpila ka minutes ang imong tan-awon. And so ang reels kay 2 minutes ra or less, then dali lang kayo ba kay especially people are now busy and people are fond with watching the reels. So in the process pero nauwaw man mo, so di mo nang wala nakuan kaayo, wala na ako siya naingon nga as part of the tunasa sa taas, ano ko na emphasize and mention. But of course it's a negotiation, I cannot force you, but siguro it's a start, no? It's a start nga inyong himuon nga maghimo mo reels, then so all the other things that you can think of in biology, any courses that if you want to help educate people outside of the academe, then Reels is a venue, a platform. Yan, kung pag mag-create mo TikTok, nadaghan mo himuon, mamonetize. Pila man ka minutes ang monetization? 5 minutes? Para mo qualify sa monetization. So, mag-create mo inyong page where you post reels on science. At least kana ganing magtanaw na to nga mga reels kay lingaw at the same time na ay serious, not serious, but na ay kanang content nga helpful sa siya sa environment, helpful sa ecosystem. What you think? But I'm open to negotiation. If it's, kung maulaw jud mo, di po lang nato na ipugos kaayo, pero ako lang ba kay sayang? O di lang sa karon, next time lang. What you think? So may pleasure of everyone. Di lang sa karon. Mga heart. Pero unsa man jud ang final ko sa class. Next time na lang. Sige, for now, for that task, di lang sana ko i-appeal ang pag-comment. Or, sa ato lang suggestion ni Ms. Zarina na we create our own Facebook, then you upload it there, then everyone from the class. Pero sayang magod ang inyong comment. The reason why ipa-commenton mo, para na siya count. Kaya ganda yun mo og followers and comment. Na mo 23. What you think? Di lang sige. Okay, atong own Facebook na lang din. Anyone would comment. Watch and comment, okay? So, mas maayo po na makita po mo sa mga gipanghimo sa others. Among you lang good sa class. Okay ra ba na? Acceptable na ninyo? Ha?
Pero sir, sa amo, sir.
Okay ra sa inyo?
Yes, sir.
Nakamukha mo ra sa damang tanaw-tanaw sa inyong kuan. Among the classmate. Sige, ako po. Ako i-share na. Ha?
Para wala sir mo bash.
Kanang mubas, sagdi na sila. Uy, ayaw, sagdi na mga mubas. Kaya insecure na sila. Di ka mamuhimo. Di ko ka mamuhimo pa kaayo o kuan. Kaya na may mga people who really are good, but it takes practice as well. Ano, kung naimang bash, ayaw kayo mo o kanang pa-apektar ha. Kay I understand that the kadaganan sa younger generations are kanang pwedeng possibly ma-expose sa kanang bashing in online, but ako lang kuan nga, please don't kuan, ayaw lang yung huna-unaan na yung mga comments sa other people. Ang inyong huna-unaon permi nga nagbuhat mo, and that's for yourself more than for anyone else. Importante ang inyong kuan self. Ayaw mo pag huna-huna. Yes, Yuko o no?
Sir, nag-ask sila sir if post sir kinaba day plus point.
Kamo sa inyong kuan tae plus point pwede ra, pero katong pwede ra sad katong dili mo post kay ilat go niya ang plus point inana.
Oh, sir.
Sige, i-post sa inyong Facebook or sa mag-create lang sa tag atong own Facebook sa class, then pwede rin siyang i-share. Pero ako ang pag-monitor na ko sa kuan no kinsa ang nag-post. At least kung nag-post sa atong wall sa class, then mas dali na ko sa ma-monitor sa hinoon. Sige, na lang. So we Zarina, okay, who would like to volunteer? Kisa may who would like to volunteer? Kisa man imong i-volunteer Zarina nga mo create sa Facebook group.
Okay na ko sir, pwede ako create.
Ikaw na lang.
I-invite ka sir. I-admin ba?
Sige, tapos from there, everyone will post the reels. I think kamo tanang real man siguro mo ay TikTok kung mo permi.
Gatan oras eh. Ay.
Hindi mo TikTok uban akong kauban dito.
Nakas kani sila sir. Ay.
Kung housemate usay pagsunod ko na sayo sa kusina, sayo sa sala, nag-TikTok di ay. Diripot namo ko sa Cebu normal karon. Diripot sa normal during lunch break, imbis mag-rest, nagsayo na po dito sa kilid kuan ay. TikTok di ay. Okay, so that's our deal as a class. You create a Facebook and then everybody will post it there. And you add me there lang. Katong mga mo post, may additional point. Okay?
Is there question di ay sir?
Yes.
Ay kanang, ang pag-comment ba sir, kay apil siya sa criteria sir? Ang pag-comment sa amo.
Oo, supposedly. Pero ang problema lang, ana, kay, pwede ra. So, duha na itong i-add na lang na bonus. Ang usa ka bonus kay, when you post, the other bonus is when you comment.
Comment to other, classmates.
To other, not your own, not your own, not your own work. Live ko kayo nga imong work, man. Comment kayo, this is an amazing work. Ikaw rin nag-comment sa imong work.
Yes. Ikaw, sir. Sige, thank you, sir.
For supporting yourself. Okay. Okay, so muna lang
okay,
to.
Sir.
So, ako ibalik ha. So, Miss Sharina is volunteering to create our Facebook group, and then everybody gina-encourage to post their own reel, and na siya, kung kasi mag-post na ay bonus point, plus kung mga mag-comment sa mga work sa other classmates, will also get some bonus points.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, additional, last na lang, sir.
Yes, sure.
Ano, sir, ka ng, wait lang. Ang pag-comment ba, sir, kaya dapat sa tanan na mo nga classmate? Or, to specific, ang paggatag mo sa points, if...
At least 10.
At least 10, okay. So, equivalent na siya plus 10, like something like that.
Plus 10 dyan na yun? I will choose total score. Pala yung total score ato. Ang total score niya kay... Let me check. Nakalimot ko bilang total score. Then I will think about it. Maybe 5% of the total score. Okay lang, 5% of the total score. Ang additional points. Like,
okay, sir.
Pero kung 100 points, na kay additional 5 points. 5 points to pag-comment. Kung nag-post ka sa imuhang own, another 5%. So, total of 10 points additional, no? Kung 100 points. Laban na? Laban na ba? Okay, sige. Alright, so I think that's all. Any other concerns?
Ay, kanilas na lang, sir. Ay, kanilas. Ang sa Facebook name, sir, basta na kay ganahan, sir, nga.
Kamu lang decide as a group kung sa iyong ganahan nga name.
Okay.
Kamu lang mag-decide. Okay, as a group, kamu mo decide as a group para at least inyong empowered mo to, to name our Facebook. Sige.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other concern? Wala na. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Wherever you are, as I said, always take care, ha? Okay, nato nag-raise. AJ, nag-raise kag hand? AJ, yes, AJ.
If you put these stuff in the Google Classroom so that we can check the instructions every now and then.
What's that again?
Sir?
Hello guys, basta na mo i-suggest. Ay. Basta na mo yan ha. Ay.
Happy birthday.
Balik lagi mo. Too late na. Ay. Guys! Anong iyong mas suggest?
Nata.
Collabers? Charot. I-vloggers? Iba, ano? What happened to me? Sa maningin kang ano? Hello?
Na lowbat ko na disconnected to. What was the question of Mr. AJ again?
Just if you put these like instructions in the Google Classroom later, so that you can check every now and then.
Which instruction is that again?
The one you told us for the assignment. and stuff.
About the uploading of the reels?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, sige, I will let me check. I will just edit the task and include that there.
Thank you, sir.
Task number 2, I think. So the agreement kay you will Miss Sharina will create a Facebook group for us, and everybody ang tanan mo i-encourage to upload the reels, and those who will upload the reels will have bonus points, and those who will comment to the works of the classmates, at least 10, will also get a bonus point. Okay? Clear na ba? Dapat tayo lahat ng concern. Thank you. Ay, salamat kaayo. Thank you. Dapat tayo other concern. Wala na. Sige, so you take care everyone. And see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
See you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
No, see you in September na.
Wow.
When September comes.
Yay! See you, sir. Bye-bye. Thank you, sir.
See you.